All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing an update on the Keychron K6. Now, I already have several videos on my channel where I have done reviews, typing sounds, other things that I discovered as I use this keyboard. So I want to do an update real quick here, maybe like a final review of this mechanical keyboard here. Pretty much the things that I'm going to be going over, pretty much updates that I have done on my channel for other videos. So it's kind of like a review, and that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about in this video today. So as you can see here, the keyboard doesn't have any keycaps on it, and I just have it exposed with the key switches. This mechanical keyboard has the hop swap capability. In a separate video I had made, I talked about that issue, and quite a few people disagreed with me on that, saying that you can definitely remove the frames of the mechanical keyboard here and swap out the switches from there. Now, I do understand that technique. Yes, that is very helpful. However, when you're purchasing a pre-built, that's not at the forefront of your mind. Purchasing a mechanical keyboard that is pre-built, at least it's not for me. So originally, I thought that with the hot swap pre-built, you can just quickly swap out the switches and you don't have to remove the frame. In my opinion, I think for a pre-built that you shouldn't have to do that. Some still may disagree with me on that, and that's okay. I just still feel though as that, you know, a pre-built, you shouldn't have to take it apart, versus a custom board like the recent one that I built, which is the RamaWorks Kara keyboard. That one is also a hot swap keyboard. However, I went into building that keyboard knowing that I had to build it first and then put the switches. So I understand for that particular board, removing the frame to remove the key switches, that's just what requires within the build versus a pre-built. So I hope that makes sense and you understand where I'm coming from with that. However, you know, if I come across another pre-built where removing the frames is necessary, then I may alter my perspective. But I still think, you know, for pre-builts, that is the whole point of buying one. You want to buy it without having to do any build work on it, and you just want to use it as intended. One can argue, yes, that is still less work than soldering, and that is kind of true to an extent. I just want to make that a point and give that perspective of someone who's new and may not be aware of that technique. Now, you can research and do that, and you may not have any issues with doing that, and that's okay. But for me, you know, when I'm switching between keyboards and I want to switch between switches, that is something I don't want to do unless I'm building the keyboard from scratch, and I already have done that before, and I'm aware that you have to do that with that particular custom build to swap out the switches. So next thing I want to talk about here is the wireless design. Now, again, the wireless is a pro. You definitely can get a lot of use out of it if you're a wireless person or you prefer to have a wireless setup. Just like myself, I like wireless. That's one of the main reasons why I was interested in this keyboard as well as their other ones. When you get to certain devices, that's when you can have some issues. And I did go over that in my review. Last thing I'm going to cover in this video is the battery life. So I have this keyboard for a little over a year now, going on like a year and 2 months. And I definitely seen the change in the battery life here. So the battery that currently sits in the Keychron K6 is pretty decent, as you can get up to 72 hours of usage wirelessly. I've noticed for the past like maybe month or so that I had to recharge this mechanical keyboard more than usual. Battery in this keyboard has actually degraded. That's why I talk about having a replaceable battery versus using like AA batteries. So I talked about that comparison in my HHKB professional hybrid keyboard review. Now, I will also link that video in the description if you want to check that out later, just to kind of reiterate the pro of having AA batteries inside the keyboard versus having a battery that uses milliamp hours. There's the difference there, where if the battery is not replaceable, then overall the keyboard becomes useless. So that's kind of the thing that I have noticed over the past month. I had to charge this keyboard more often than my initial usage. Kind of like been of a bummer because I'm just surpassing a year of using this keyboard, and you know, starting to see that I may not be able to use it too much longer, or if I do, have to use it more on a wire connection than wirelessly. So that is something to keep in mind too. If you have the Keychron K6, not everyone's unit is the same. My battery may be degrading sooner than others. It just all depends on that unit. So I'm going to put the Gatorone brown key switches back into this keyboard and obviously remove the Novel Keys blueberries and kind of just, you know, get it back to its stock form. And currently I'm using a RamaWorks Kara, and that keyboard is definitely a different experience. I have already made a couple of videos on that keyboard, so I'll leave those videos in the description as well. Pretty much all I'm gonna cover in this video. Again, this was just a quick re-review of this keyboard and some things that I have noticed since my latest videos on this Keychron K6. I hope that helps anyone that is looking to purchase this keyboard. Just provide some, you know, user experience, just getting that everyday daily use out of this keyboard. So if you guys don't already know the drill, hopefully you hit that subscribe button and gave this video a thumbs up. It definitely helps out the video a lot. Also, if you have this mechanical keyboard, let me know what your experience has been with it, you know, just your overall general use of it. And, you know, I'm interested to see, you know, how well it has upheld for you. Let me know what you guys think about the hot swap pre-built versus a hot swap custom build keyboard. If you like to break down your keyboards anyway, then cool, let me know. You know, I know some of you guys just like to do that in general anyway, just to see what that keyboard has underneath. If you know someone that's interested in purchasing this particular keyboard, then hopefully you guys share the video with them, and so it can give them more details and a long-term review. Again, hopefully that helps them. With all that being said, you guys, I will see you in my next video. Peace.